Hi, it's Honest John. Look, I want to make one thing clear. I don't hate rich people. I want to be a rich person. And I think if somebody works hard and makes themselves a nice chunk of money, I don't have a problem with it. That's cool. But think about this. We've got 400 households in the United States, and they have more money than everybody else in the country combined. 400 households. More than everybody combined. Something's wrong. And contrary to what some people will try to tell you, raising taxes on these guys is not going to hurt the economy. It's going to help the economy. What hurts the economy is having all that money concentrated in that small amount of people. That money is not creating jobs. It's not doing anything but collecting interest. So, nothing that I have proposed is going to turn rich people into poor people. Well, but it's a way to not just cut our deficit, it's a way to get surpluses. It's a way to start paying down the national debt, which we need to do. Now, people talk about all this ridiculous stuff, a fair tax, a flat tax, a national consumption tax. All of those things are just thinly disguised ways to protect the rich, to keep the rich from paying their fair share. They talk about simplifying the tax code. It's not that hard to have a tiered tax code. That's not what makes a tax code complicated. What makes a tax code complicated is all these exemptions and exceptions that only rich people get. And if it's too hard for them to figure it out, well, look, they're rich enough to hire an accountant, okay? These guys are living the American dream. I don't think it's too much to expect them to kick in a little bit. And I'm not against big business neither. I'm not against business. I'm not against big business. I'm against corporate welfare. We have businesses making huge profits, and then on top of that, they're giving our tax money. They don't need that. That's crazy. And I'm not saying we should eliminate all corporate subsidies. We should just eliminate the big corporate subsidies. And take that money and use it to pay down the national debt. And take some of that money and use it to fund small businesses. See, there are some small businesses that are corporations. I don't have a problem with them. You know, we use corporations kind of as a pejorative. No, there are some small businesses that are corporations. They need help. They should get it. And we should use some of that money to fund startups. Startups create jobs. But having that money, having our taxpayer money go to corporations that are already making billions is ridiculous, and it doesn't help the economy. It hurts it. Subsidize small businesses, not big ones. And let's talk about oil companies. They not only get subsidies, they also get royalty waivers. See, oil companies are supposed to pay royalties on the oil that they get when they drill, because that oil doesn't belong to them. That oil belongs to us. It's our oil. And let me tell you something. The government routinely waives those subsidies, those royalties. They don't have to pay it. We can approach this in two ways. We can just simply cancel all royalty waivers. Pay up, guys. No more. None of them. Or we can make a deal. Keep the royalty waivers, but gas prices stay at a certain level for the next so many years. And then we'll renegotiate it. Makes sense to me. Oh, and there's another thing. Hedge funds take advantage of some kind of weird loophole in the law that allows them to call themselves small businesses and get small business tax breaks. Well, that needs to be fixed. A hedge fund is a hedge fund. It's not a small business. That needs to be fixed. And one last thing. CEOs are making obscene amounts of money. They make millions of dollars even when they screw up. You remember all of these guys that got bonuses after they nearly brought the country down? It seems to me that when I was coming up, that you only got a bonus if you did good. Now you get a bonus if you screw up royally. And nobody is worth $100 million. The President of the United States only makes 400 grand. Who's worth more than that? You think any of these CEOs are worth the money they're making? Some are making almost $100 million a year. Now, let's cut CEO pay to a reasonable amount. They'll still be rich. Don't need to worry. They'll still be rich. But how about we cut their pay down to a reasonable amount and give it to the people that actually do the work, whose pay has been stagnant for years and whose benefits are being cut. And the next time a CEO makes a really bad decision and all of a sudden puts the company in a financial straits and problems, instead of laying off a whole bunch of workers who are making very little money, why not lay off the CEOs? They're the ones that screwed up. Thanks for listening.